All right, today I've got a super cool move for you. Now in the past, we've done the elbow lever where we use 2 hands. This time we're gonna take it up a level. This is gonna be ninja style. If you learn this, it's gonna be like you're a Cirque du Soleil performer. It's a really cool move, but the good thing about it is once you get the balance and technique, you don't need too much strength, mainly core strength. So once you have if you have the 2-arm one down, you can definitely get this one. So let's jump into this. All right, so we're gonna go over the technique, then you're gonna learn progressions to help build into this, and then we're gonna go over some exercises for you to build the strength and flexibility for this move. So let's jump into the technique first. Remember, with the 2-arm elbow lever, remember the hands, so the hands are placed in front. We're gonna rotate them out and then stack the elbows into the stomach on either side of the abs. So right by the belly button. Remember, that was with the 2-arm. So for the 1-arm, the first thing is that we're taking away that other arm. Now I like to go with my left. You'll want to do both, but we'll just show you with the left. So we're removing 1 arm, and since we're only using 1 arm, it's important that we shift over slightly. Now we're not going to go over the belly button. We're going to go to slide to the outside, but we do need to shift over a little bit more than with the 2-arm because we're only doing 1, and we're gonna have to shift our weight over this 1 arm. Again, hand slightly turned out. We're planting this hand down on the ground. We'll be gripping the ground with our fingers and then placing that elbow into that position that we just went over. The important thing here is that we're gonna stack the wrist over the elbow. We don't wanna shift too far over. That'll put too much strain on the wrist, and we definitely can't do this because we won't be able to balance ourselves. Positioning just over the knuckles is a pretty good balance point. So we think just like with the handstand and things like that. And then the next thing we're gonna focus on is shifting our weight over that hand, because if we don't shift our weight over, it's gonna be impossible to hold that balance. We're gonna fall over. What we're going to do is, in order to shift our weight over, we're gonna do 2 main things. We're going to slightly move our legs over this balance point, so shifting it over, and then we're gonna open up our hip. So the hip, the side of the hip that's on the outside over here, we're going to turn it up so we can shift our weight over to this side. The other thing is we're gonna take the opposite hand and we're gonna use that to help assist us in finding balance. So as we're positioning here, we're shifting the weight over, and then we're using this hand to help balance us until we can hold like so. Oh, another thing is with our legs, we're gonna squeeze our glutes so that we can stay nice and tight. We don't wanna be flopping around. We want our body to be rigid, nice and stiff, so that way we're doing all the balancing in this hand. Because once we get in that position, much like with a handstand, the balance then is going to be in the wrist and hand here. All right, so those are the key points for the technique. All right, now that you know the technique, let's go into progressions to help build into this move. The first progression obviously would be the double arm elbow lever, but since we already have that, we're just gonna start going into the 1-arm positions. So we're gonna get a pillow to rest our head, so if we lose balance, we don't hurt ourselves. And we're just gonna work on getting used to this position. And we're gonna keep our legs bent and then use our other arm for assistance, for balance. So we're gonna get in this position here, using our head too against the pillow, and then trying to lift the knees. So seeing how this feels, right? The second one is now we're going to start to extend the legs. We go from this bent position, now we're gonna start to extend the legs out. Still holding this hand here, still having our pillow here in case we lean too far forward, but now we don't want to use as much of the pillow if we can. Now we're going to try to have the arms or the legs extended, and then we're going to try to release this hand completely. Keep this pillow here just in case. So we're going to get in that position. The legs are now going to be spread, and we're going to try to release this hand. Once we can do that, and we can do the straddle, then it's going for the full thing, right? So we have this down, we're able to release with the straddle position, and now we're gonna try to bring the legs together. Legs are spread, and now we're gonna pull them together until where we can hold like this. All right, so we just covered the progressions. Now let's go into the exercises to help build the strength and flexibility for this move. The first thing before we even get started, you wanna warm up. So make sure to do a full body warm up. And in particular, you wanna focus on the wrist. An easy way you can do this is just do the alphabet with your hands. You know, draw the alphabet, that'll help warm up the wrist. The first exercise we're gonna do is a variation of a push-up. With the regular push-up, we're in this position, we go down, we come up. For this, we're gonna change two things. So we're going to mimic the positioning for the elbow lever by rotating the hands slightly outward. And we're also going to move the hands closer to our hips. This is gonna help build our shoulders and our arms to kind of mimic what we're doing with the elbow lever, the one arm. So we're gonna do push-ups like this, just 3 sets of 10 to 15 should be fine. Going down, coming up. All right, the second exercise I have for you is we're really gonna focus on the wrist here. So we're gonna get on our hands and knees. We're going to lean forward onto the hands and we're going to lift up onto the fingertips and then come back down. This is really gonna help strengthen our hands and our wrists. Now, if this is too hard, lean back a little bit further, shift the weight further back, take away some of the resistance and start here. Just go back as far as you need to and then stretch further and further as you get better and stronger. Again, 3 sets of 10 is totally fine for this. All right, next we're gonna focus an exercise for the core. And this one you've done plenty of times. We're just gonna work on the plank. This way we can just focus on really making sure that our body's gonna be nice and straight and stiff while we're doing the elbow lever. So we're just gonna get in a plank position. Make sure to squeeze the glutes, keep the back straight, hold this position. And if you want to have some fun with this, work on shifting over to one arm and lifting up one arm and the other. This is going to help build that stabilization in your shoulders. And then going back into plank position. Now, all you really need to do is go to 30 seconds. That's all I'd recommend. Do 3 sets of 30 seconds, should be good for that. So after we do those exercises, now I want you to work on flexibility because this is gonna be a very crucial element to getting this elbow lever and making sure we do it safely. So the first flexibility stretch I have for you is we're gonna take our hands, we're gonna have hands and knees, place the hands in front, and we're gonna lean forward, giving us a stretch here with the wrist. Hold this for 15 to 30 seconds, and then come back. Then next, what I want you to do is rotate the hands over like this, and we're doing the same thing. Now, this may be a little bit harder at first, so if you need to lean back so there's not as much pressure, do that. And then we're gonna lean forward, hold this for 15 to 30 seconds, and then come back. All right, and those two should really help just with getting more flexibility in these positions. All right, so that's the technique, the progressions, and exercises to help you get that one arm elbow lever. Now, if you enjoy moves like this, you like learning fun acrobatic moves, then I want you to check out what we have for you down below. That is our Acro 101 program. This is where we give you not only workouts and exercises to build the body and get the shapes down for acrobatics, but we also go into different phases where we learn moves just like this, fun acrobatic moves. So if you want to check that out, do that by going down in the description. Again, thanks for watching this video. If you have any comments or anything like that, put that in the comment section. Make sure to like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, turn the notifications, and I'll see you in the next video.